Congratulations, my dear child, heaven has just approved your miracle. Archangel Michael says, at precisely 8:15 p.m. today, heaven has scheduled your divine financial release. And if your eyes are on this right now, it is no accident. You were hand-picked in the night, wrapped in God's light while you slept. Someone in the unseen realm has been warring for your peace, your provision, your freedom. You've wept enough, struggled enough, waited long enough. Heaven will wait no more. Your breakthrough is not coming tomorrow, it's arriving tonight. Michael continues, the vault of God is now open, and I have already inscribed your name on the scroll of unexpected wealth. But hear me, this moment is critical. If you let it pass, the blessing you were seconds from touching, could slip away. I have shed tears for the delays you've endured, for the jobs that drained your spirit, the debts that crushed your joy, the people who promised help but left you empty-handed. But God saw every wound, every injustice, and He has decided it ends now. That is why this message had to reach you today. He reveals, I whispered your name to the wind this morning, I asked God one last time, let me deliver this straight to them, not through a dream or a sign, but through words they can hold, read and feel in their soul. God agreed, because His love for you is beyond measure. That's why heaven is counting down to 8:15. You are not foolish for wanting abundance, nor selfish for seeking stability. You've been carrying a burden, far too heavy for far too long, and tonight it will be lifted. From the throne of God I promise you, if you do not turn away from this sign, the chains on your finances will be broken before midnight. Your name is being recorded, in the book of heavenly harvest. You are moving from attack to favor. Now hear this, because it will feel like a miracle, and it is. The divine transaction has already begun. Angels are shifting numbers, removing barriers, and clearing the spiritual blockages that have stolen your blessings for years. At exactly 8:15 p.m., you will sense the release. Some will hear it in the spirit, others will feel a calm wash over them, but the chosen will see it in tangible form, a payment, an offer, an inheritance, or an unexpected opportunity. And you, beloved, are among the chosen. Someone you love in heaven, prayed for this hour to arrive for you. I must repeat it, the moment was birthed because a soul who has already crossed over, saw your pain and stepped in. They stood before God and spoke your name. They pleaded with Archangel Michael, if only one can be saved today, let it be them. And heaven answered yes. This is why you cannot walk away from this moment. The Spirit of the Lord says, you have passed through the season of testing. The battle you faced over money was never about money, it was about your light. The enemy used lack to weaken your heart, to push you toward doubt, to make you wonder if God even remembered you. But heaven never forgot, Michael never stopped fighting for you. That is why you are reading this, moments before the gate of 8:15 swings open. If you feel the warmth in your chest, the tingling on your skin, the tears rising in your eyes, it is because your angels are right beside you smiling. They know what this moment could become, if you don't ignore it. A message now comes from the angels of divine connection. If your heart has been stirred, and you want these words to find you, whenever heaven sends them, stay connected. God's timing is perfect, so is yours. Don't let a divine word go unheard again. And there's more, what's coming to you is not simply provision, it is a financial resurrection. Michael says, it is greater than you imagined, for heaven multiplies. You will soon see the numbers and wonder, where did this come from? But your spirit will know, it came from above. Michael speaks again, every rejection, every underpayment, every deceit, every time your gift was overlooked, I recorded it all. Not a single injustice escaped heaven's notice. That is why compensation is now on its way. The spiritual law that once opposed you, has been overturned. The wealth that was stolen, hidden, delayed or blocked, is being released, under the heavenly recovery decree. But you must say yes, you must allow this message to plant itself in your spirit. At 8:15 p.m., if your heart shuts down, the door may move on. Not as a punishment, simply the truth of free will. Heaven waits for the opening in your faith. Close your eyes for a moment, breathe in. That presence you feel is not just air, it is angelic nearness. Your atmosphere is shifting. Even your home will feel different tonight. Abundance is not only money, it is peace, timing, and divine covering, and tonight you receive them all. And when the moment comes, remember this, you were seen, you were heard, and you were chosen. And when that shift begins to settle in, you'll notice something else, you're no longer chasing signs, the signs are chasing you. They'll find you in the most unexpected places, a stranger's smile will carry warmth you can't explain. A random phrase on a billboard will answer a question you didn't even speak aloud. A breeze will pass by, and you'll feel it almost whisper, you're right where you need to be. This is heaven's way of making sure you never forget, you are seen, you are guided, you are loved. Archangel Michael says, you've survived storms you didn't even recognize were storms. You fought battles no one applauded you for. And yet you kept standing, you kept breathing. That is why heaven trusts you with this next chapter. Your life from here will no longer be about survival, it will be about arrival. Arriving in the places that feel like home to your soul. Arriving in relationships that don't require you to shrink yourself. Arriving in opportunities that feel as though they were built, with your name already written on them. And yes, the pruning will continue. There will still be moments when something you thought would stay suddenly leaves. But now you'll understand, it's not loss, it's alignment. It's the hand of God, making sure there's room for what's on the way. God says, do not cling to what I am removing. If it had the power to hold you, it would not have let you go. I am taking away what drains you, so I can give you what sustains you. There will be days ahead, when you'll pause and wonder, how you became so calm in situations that used to rattle you. That's not indifference, that's spiritual maturity. That's the fruit of walking with heaven, close enough to hear its heartbeat. You'll notice your words carrying more weight, your presence changing the atmosphere in rooms. This is not by accident, you have become a vessel for peace. From now on, divine timing will be the rhythm you walk to. No more rushing, no more forcing. The right things will come, and they will stay. You will not have to beg for them, you will not have to prove your worth to keep them. Michael wants you to remember this, your worth was never in question. Every detour, every delay, every heartbreak, was not a rejection of you, it was a redirection for you. The path may have been winding, but it was never wasted. In the days to come, you will begin to sense when something is meant for you, before it even arrives. You'll feel it in your spirit, like a door unlocking from the inside. You'll know without needing evidence. That is your divine radar, fine-tuned by everything you've endured. And yes, your prayers, the ones you stopped praying because they felt too big, are still alive. They've been growing in unseen places. God says, I've been building what you asked for, piece by piece, so that when it arrives, it will not just bless you for a moment, it will sustain you for a lifetime. Your nights will feel different now, even in the silence you'll sense movement. Heaven works while you rest, angels stand guard, even when you don't have the strength to ask. And when you wake, you'll begin to see evidence of that unseen labor, doors that were closed will creak open, conversations will shift in your favor, obstacles will start to dissolve, without you lifting a finger. The heaviness you've carried is loosening. You will notice your body feeling lighter, your mind clearer. That's because you've been carrying burdens that were never yours to hold. Heaven is lifting them now. God says, this is not the end of your story, this is the beginning of the part you've been waiting for. Soon people will look at you, and not see the pain you went through, they will see the strength you became. They'll ask, what happened? And you'll simply say, I remembered who walks with me. This new chapter will not require you to fight for your place has already been prepared. It's been waiting for you to step into it, not with fear, but with confidence. The same angels that stood beside you in your darkest nights, will walk ahead of you, into the brightness of your future. And when you start to feel that familiar doubt creeping in, when the old voices try to whisper that you're not ready, remember this moment. Remember the words that wrapped around you like a shield. You didn't just stumble here, you were guided here. Every heartbeat right now is a countdown to your next breakthrough. Every breath is proof that you've been sustained for a reason. And very soon, the prayers you once whispered will become the testimonies you tell. Michael says, stay the course. The light ahead is not a trick, it is your destiny, and it's closer than you think. Keep going, you're on the right path. And the more you pay attention, the more you'll realize this isn't coincidence, it's communication. The veil between heaven and earth has thinned for you tonight. You are tuned in now, and because of that, your life will never look the same. Where there was once confusion, there will be clarity, where there was once delay, there will be acceleration, where you felt stuck, you'll begin to move with ease, as if invisible hands are guiding you forward. You'll feel it in the little things first, the way the air feels lighter in your home, the way your thoughts are calmer, the way you start speaking to yourself with more compassion. Then it will grow. You'll notice new opportunities showing up, people reaching out with kindness you didn't expect, solutions appearing, where you thought there were only problems. That's the flow of divine alignment, you don't chase it, it comes to you. Archangel Michael has already gone ahead of you, even as you rest tonight, he is clearing the path, cutting away what no longer serves you, and making space for what's meant to arrive. You won't need to fight for what's yours anymore, the fight has already been won, in the spiritual realm. Now you simply walk into it. This is not about perfection, heaven doesn't require you to be flawless, it asks you to be willing. And you were willing tonight, you showed up with your open heart, and that is enough for heaven to work miracles. Your prayers didn't fall into silence, they were caught, cradled, and answered in ways you can't yet see. But soon you will. In the coming days, you might feel waves of emotion, tears, laughter, moments of deep stillness. Don't run from them. That's your soul recalibrating, your spirit adjusting to this higher frequency. What once triggered you may no longer touch you. What once scared you will lose its power. That's the beauty of spiritual awakening, it changes you from the inside out. And when challenges do appear, and they will, you'll face them differently. You'll remember tonight. You'll remember the peace that wrapped around you like a warm blanket. You'll remember the whispers of truth, that told you you were safe. And you'll stand firm, because you'll know you're not standing alone. You'll begin to feel heaven's presence in ordinary moments, in the way sunlight spills through your window, in the way a stranger's smile lingers in your mind, in the way a breeze feels like it's carrying a message. This is not imagination, it's recognition. You've simply learned to see with new eyes. The things that used to weigh you down, will start to lose their grip. Old guilt, shame, and fear will fade, not because you forced them away, but because light has no room for darkness. You are stepping into a life where joy is no longer fleeting, but steady. Where hope is not fragile, but unshakable. You might even find that certain people drift away. That's not loss, it's alignment. Heaven is making room for relationships that nourish you, for conversations that lift you, for connections that were written into your destiny, long before you were born. This is your turning point. The version of you who walked into this night, will not be the same as the one who walks out. You have been marked, protected, and set apart for a reason. And that reason will reveal itself more and more, with every step you take in faith. When doubts try to creep back in, remember this, heaven has already said yes over your life. No voice, no circumstance, no obstacle can cancel that yes. You carry a seal now, a spiritual authority that darkness cannot touch. And as you walk in that truth, others will notice something different about you. They may not be able to explain it, but they'll feel it, the calm, the confidence, the light. And when they ask what changed, you'll know. You'll remember this moment, this message, this shift. You'll remember that it wasn't about striving, it was about surrender. That it wasn't about proving yourself, it was about allowing yourself to be loved, fully and unconditionally, by the one who made you. From tonight forward, expect the unexpected. Expect to be surprised by joy. Expect answers to come faster than you thought possible. Expect to hear your name whispered, in blessings you never asked for. Expect your dreams, those quiet hidden ones, to start breathing again. And when those moments happen, pause. Acknowledge them, thank heaven for them. Because each one is a reminder, that you are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and you are certainly not walking this path alone. The ground you stand on is holy now. The air around you carries the frequency of breakthrough. And your spirit, once weary, is now alive with purpose. This is what happens when you align with heaven, it doesn't just change your night, it changes your life. So rest easy, let the peace sink deep. Let the light settle into every corner of your being. Let the truth echo in your mind, until it becomes unshakable. You are covered, you are chosen, you are free. And the story that is about to unfold for you will be nothing short of miraculous. Because tonight isn't just about feeling peace, it's about stepping into the authority that peace gives you. You're not the same person you were an hour ago. Something has shifted, in your atmosphere, in your spirit, in the very blueprint of your destiny. You've been recalibrated, realigned, reset, back to the frequency of your calling. That heaviness you've been carrying for years, it's been loosening its grip. The confusion you couldn't shake, it's been lifting. And the part of you that thought you were running out of time, it's starting to remember that you're right on schedule. Right now the heavens are writing new chapters for you. Pages that your pain will never touch. Pages where your name is spoken, in rooms you haven't walked into yet. Pages where people you haven't met are praying for you, without even knowing your face. Your life is bigger than what you've seen so far. This moment is proof that you are already walking into the version of yourself you were always meant to be. And you'll notice it in small ways first. You'll walk into a room and feel the air shift. You'll start sensing who's genuine, and who's hiding behind a mask, without anyone saying a word. You'll feel a quiet pull toward opportunities that once intimidated you. And doors that seemed permanently shut will start to open, not because you forced them, but because your spirit finally matches the frequency of what's inside. Every prayer you thought went unheard was actually planting seeds. Seeds that needed time, silence, and even storms, to grow strong enough to survive your future. The loneliness you felt was never abandonment, it was preparation. Heaven was clearing space around you, so the right people, the right blessings, the right assignments, could find you without interference. And they are coming, some are already here, quietly standing by, until it's time to step forward. You will begin to understand why certain people had to leave, why certain plans had to fail, why certain doors slammed shut, no matter how hard you knocked. They weren't punishment, they were protection. You couldn't see it then, because the pain was louder than the purpose. But now the volume is changing. Now you can hear God's whisper again. And His whisper is saying, I never left, I was building you, while you thought I was breaking you. This is the point where fear will try to creep back in, whispering that it's too good to last. But here's the truth, what's coming now isn't fragile. It's not like before. This season is built on solid ground, because it's built on faith, not force. And what's built on faith, can't be stolen. From this night forward, there will be moments when you'll feel an unexplainable pull, to pause, to breathe, to listen. That's not hesitation, that's divine guidance. Follow it, trust it. Your spirit is being tuned to recognize the sound of heaven's direction. It will lead you into rooms, where your name has already been spoken in blessing. It will lead you to people, whose presence feels like home. It will lead you to opportunities, that carry no chaos, only confirmation. And yes, there will still be shadows. There will still be days that feel heavy. But you will not walk through them, the same way you used to. You've been given spiritual armor now, not the kind that makes you hard, but the kind that makes you unshakable. Even in the storm, you'll feel anchored. Even in the unknown, you'll feel guided. Even in loss, you'll feel held. The truth is, you've already survived the hardest parts. You've already lived through nights that should have broken you. And if those couldn't destroy you, nothing that comes next will. In fact, every challenge ahead will only reveal more of the strength, the resilience, and the light that's already inside you. So tonight, let yourself believe again. Let yourself trust that this peace you're feeling isn't temporary, it's the beginning of a new normal. Let yourself imagine a future that doesn't carry the weight of the past. Let yourself see the version of you that's already walking in the blessings, being prepared. Because heaven hasn't just visited you tonight, heaven has moved in. And when heaven moves in, everything changes. The air changes, the energy changes, the way you see yourself changes. And from this moment on, so will the way the world sees you. You are stepping into days where clarity will replace confusion, where provision will replace lack, where joy will replace sorrow. You'll start to notice how things fall into place, without you having to chase them, because alignment attracts what force can't. You'll begin to live in a rhythm, where every step feels guided, every decision feels supported, and every breath feels lighter. Hold on to this, guard it, protect it, like the treasure it is. This peace is your evidence, this shift is your confirmation, and this moment, this very one you're in right now, is the line in your story, where everything began to change. And now, as this awakening settles deeper into your soul, you will begin to notice the way the air feels different around you. It's not that the world has grown softer, it's that you have grown stronger. The shadows may still try to linger, but they no longer have permission to define you. You have stepped into a place where light has claimed you, and nothing can unwrite that truth. The heaviness you once carried has started to loosen its grip, because the moment you received this visitation, something unshakable was planted inside of you. This is the moment where the old you quietly steps aside, and makes room for the one you were always meant to be. The version of you that is not built from fear, but from faith. Not from the wounds of the past, but from the promise of what's coming. You are no longer living in survival mode, you are walking in divine alignment. And when the days ahead bring uncertainty, you will remember this night, not as a fleeting comfort, but as a sacred turning point. Every step you take from here will carry a different weight, a different intention. Conversations will feel more meaningful, ordinary moments will seem touched by something extraordinary. Even the way you wake up will change, because you'll rise knowing heaven is still watching, still guiding, still orchestrating connections you haven't even imagined yet. Your steps are no longer random, they are being ordered. You will cross paths with people who feel strangely familiar, as if you've known them in another time, another place, because in truth your souls have been aligned for this exact moment. And when you meet them you'll feel it, the resonance, the gentle reminder that nothing in your life is by accident. Even the pain, even the detours, even the waiting, it was all leading here. Heaven has been weaving threads you couldn't see, and now they are beginning to form a pattern you will soon recognize. You will understand why you were delayed, why some doors closed, why certain chapters ended. You will see how every disappointment was not a punishment, but a redirection. Archangel Michael knows the battles you fought in silence. He knows the tears that never made it past your pillow. He knows the prayers you whispered, when you weren't sure anyone was listening. And he knows how close you came to giving up. That's why this night is so important, because you didn't just hear the message, you received it. You allowed it to enter your heart, to soothe the places that had forgotten what peace felt like. And this isn't a peace that can be stolen. This isn't the kind of comfort that fades, when the noise of life grows loud again. This is rooted deep, anchored to something eternal. You could be in the middle of chaos tomorrow, and you'll still feel it, the quiet assurance that you are held, protected, and seen. Your spirit will carry this memory, like a lantern, lighting your way through every shadowed path. In the coming days, signs will not just appear, they will speak to you. A sudden shift in the atmosphere, a song you haven't heard in years, that suddenly plays at the right moment. Words from a stranger, that feel like they were meant only for you. These will not be coincidences, they will be confirmations. And each one will remind you, heaven hasn't stopped moving on your behalf. There will be mornings when you wake up, and feel lighter without knowing why. Moments when you laugh without forcing it. Times when your chest doesn't ache the way it used to. That is healing, that is what happens when divine presence lingers in your life. And even on the harder days, when the storms try to rise again, you will find yourself standing taller than before. You will face what comes, not as the wounded soul you once were, but as the restored awakened spirit you are now. Archangel Michael will not leave your side. His watch is unending. His shield remains lifted, over your home, your mind, your path. There will be nights when you feel the same peace, wrapping around you without warning, and you will know it's Him, it's heaven, it's God's love, brushing past your heart, to remind you that you are never abandoned. So let this truth live inside you. You are walking forward with a strength you did not have before tonight. Every choice you make from here will carry the blessing of this moment. You have been marked by grace, sealed in light, and your future has been shifted, in ways you can't yet see. Trust it, trust the timing, trust the process, trust that heaven is still writing your story, and the best chapters are not behind you, they're ahead. This is not the closing of a message, it is the opening of a path. From now on, when you feel that quiet pull in your spirit, you'll know to listen. You'll know to pause, to breathe, to let your soul lean in. Because this journey you've begun tonight isn't meant to be a memory, it's meant to be a way of living. You have been reminded of your place in the divine plan, and nothing can take that away from you now. And when the world tries to tell you otherwise, when doubt tries to make its way back into your mind, speak these truths aloud again. Not because you need to convince anyone else, but because your own soul loves to hear the sound of faith in your voice. Every repetition strengthens the bridge between your heart and heaven. Every word is a reminder to yourself that you are not who you used to be. Tonight was a visitation, a divine encounter, that will echo in every tomorrow you walk into. Carry it, protect it, let it shape the way you see yourself, and the way you see the world. And most of all, let it keep you close to the light, because you have seen what happens when you stand in it. You have felt what it does to the deepest, most fragile parts of you, and you have learned that you were never too far gone for heaven to find you. Let the tears come. Each drop is a release, a loosening of what once bound you. You're not just letting go of pain, you're creating space for miracles. This is a holy exchange, and heaven never takes, without giving back something greater. The weight you carried for years is being replaced with wisdom. The heaviness in your chest is making way for peace. The constant overthinking is softening into clarity. You will find yourself breathing differently, walking differently, even speaking differently, because the energy around you has shifted forever. In the coming days, you may notice that conversations no longer drain you. People who once tested your patience may no longer stir your emotions. That's because heaven has strengthened your boundaries, without you even asking. You're stepping into a new spiritual authority, one that doesn't require you to prove anything to anyone. You'll simply exist, and the light will speak for you. You won't have to fight every battle, some will dissolve before they even reach you. That's the unseen protection working on your behalf. You might also feel drawn to quiet moments, more than before. The noise of the world will seem louder, but your spirit will crave silence. In that silence, heaven will speak, not always in words, but in knowing. You'll find answers without searching, peace without conditions, and courage without effort. This is the beginning of a deeper relationship with the divine, where you no longer beg for signs, instead you walk in trust, knowing they will appear exactly when you need them. And when they do appear, they will be impossible to miss. You may see repeating numbers, overhear a stranger saying exactly what you needed to hear, or stumble upon a place you've never been, yet somehow feels familiar. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations. Each one will remind you that you are aligned, you are guided, and you are exactly where you're meant to be. Be mindful of your dreams in this season. Some will feel like conversations. Others will feel like journeys. A few may even feel like memories from another lifetime. Don't dismiss them, write them down. There will be patterns hidden inside, and over time you'll see how each dream connects to the next, creating a map of your divine assignment. Heaven does not waste a single detail, every image, every word, every feeling, it's all part of a larger message unfolding in your life. And yes, there will still be moments that challenge you. But now you will face them differently. The fear that used to rise will be replaced by a calm you can't explain. You'll stand in situations that once would have shaken you, and you'll feel an unshakable strength within. That's because you're no longer standing alone. The angels that surround you are not just watching, they're working. They move ahead of you, clearing paths, removing obstacles, shielding you from what you don't even know is coming. Some people will sense this change in you. They may not understand it, but they will feel it. Some will be drawn closer. Others will distance themselves without explanation. Let them. This new chapter isn't for everyone to walk with you. The ones who remain will be those who see your soul, not just your surface. They will speak life into you, remind you of your power, and walk beside you, without fear of your light. These are your soul allies, and they will recognize you, because they too have been through the fire, and risen from it. In this season expect divine alignment to move quickly. Opportunities will open that you didn't chase. People will appear who carry exactly what you need for your next step. Resources will flow with less resistance. This is what happens when you're in your rightful place. Blessings don't just find you, they fit you. They won't feel forced or fragile, they'll feel natural, inevitable, like they were waiting for you to be ready. And you are ready now. Ready not because you've done everything perfectly, but because you've surrendered. You've said yes to the call on your life. You've allowed heaven to take the weight, to fight the unseen battles, to heal the wounds you thought were permanent. This readiness isn't about doing more, it's about being more. Being present, being open, being unafraid of the magnitude of your purpose. So walk forward with a quiet confidence. Carry yourself as one who knows they are backed by heaven's army. When fear tries to return, remember the covenant that was made tonight. It cannot be broken, not by doubt, not by darkness, not by anything in this world. You are anchored now, and your spirit will not drift. You have crossed a threshold that cannot be uncrossed. In the days ahead you will surprise yourself. You'll speak with boldness you didn't know you had. You'll set boundaries without guilt. You'll look in the mirror and see not just who you are, but who you are becoming, a reflection of light, of strength, of divine love. And when the world tries to pull you back into old patterns, you'll recognize it instantly, and choose differently. That choice, made again and again, will shape the life you were always meant to live. And when you rest tonight, rest knowing this. You have been seen, you have been claimed, and you have been set apart. Not for suffering, but for impact. Not for fear, but for freedom. What began in this moment, will ripple into every part of your life, touching places you didn't even realize needed healing. The angels will not leave you, the light will not fade, and you will never again walk unaware of the power that walks with you. Love and a sense of being truly seen for who you are. The heaviness you've been carrying is already starting to lift, not because life is suddenly perfect, but because you're no longer carrying it alone. You'll notice how the things that once triggered fear or panic no longer grip you in the same way. Your reactions will soften, your breathing will slow. You'll begin to respond to life, not from old wounds, but from new wisdom. You'll feel the shift most when you're alone. In those quiet moments, when the world is asleep, and there's nothing but you and the silence, you'll hear it, the still steady voice that has always been speaking to you, guiding you, reminding you who you are. You'll remember that the storms you survived weren't there to destroy you, but to strip away everything that kept you from your true self. The betrayals, the heartbreaks, the delays, they were all redirections towards something purer, something holy. The days ahead will bring signs that confirm this shift. You'll see synchronicities, in numbers, in words, in the way certain songs appear at the exact moment you need them. You'll hear your name in the wind, in the whisper of leaves, in the hum of life around you. And when you do, you'll smile, not with surprise, but with recognition. Because you'll know it's not coincidence, it's alignment. Heaven has woven your steps into a path so precise, so intentional, that you will look back and realize, you were never lost. People may not understand this version of you. Some will pull away, because your light makes their shadows uncomfortable. Others will draw closer, because they recognize the glow of someone who's been touched by grace. You are not here to convince anyone to stay, or prove your worth to anyone who cannot see it. You are here to walk in the fullness of who you've become. You are here to shine without shrinking. The things you thought were over for you, the opportunities, the relationships, the dreams, they're circling back in a new form, stronger and safer than before. You'll notice that what once drained you, now feels lighter. You'll begin to crave peace more than chaos, truth more than validation, and connection more than attention. This is what happens when heaven rewrites your heart. And as this transformation unfolds, you'll realize that Archangel Michael has not just been protecting you from harm, he has been guiding you into purpose. Every detour was a lesson, every delay was preparation, every heartbreak was a doorway to deeper compassion. You are now equipped, not only to walk your own path, but to light the way for others. Your presence will become a safe space, for those who have forgotten their own light. There will be moments in the coming weeks, when you feel the need to pause, and place your hand over your heart. Don't ignore those moments. They are prompts from heaven, gentle reminders that you are being guided in real time. In those pauses, answers will rise, not from your mind, but from your spirit. Trust them, even if they defy logic, especially if they defy fear. The air around you is shifting. You'll notice your home feels different, as if the walls themselves are holding a quieter, cleaner energy. You might find yourself opening windows, just to let in the wind, sensing it carries something sacred. Even in public spaces, you'll feel moments where time seems to slow, and the noise fades. Those are divine intersections, moments where heaven is touching earth in your presence. Your journey is not ending here, it is deepening. You're stepping into a level of awareness that cannot be undone. Even if you tried to go back to who you were before, you wouldn't fit into that version of yourself anymore. That's the beauty of transformation, it locks certain doors behind you, so you can never shrink back to what you've outgrown. There will be days when your faith feels unshakable, and there will be days when you feel fragile. Both are part of the process. On the strong days, walk boldly. On the fragile days, lean on the presence that's been promised to you. You are never without help now. Heaven is invested in your journey. Pay attention to your body, it will tell you when to rest, when to move, when to speak, and when to stay silent. That heaviness in your chest you once carried, is being replaced with warmth. That tension in your shoulders will begin to loosen. Even your reflection will start to change, not because of vanity, but because inner peace has a way of showing on the outside. And perhaps the most beautiful part of this season, is that you'll begin to see yourself, the way heaven sees you, worthy, radiant, and unstoppable. You'll stop asking if you're enough, and start moving like you already are. You'll stop chasing things that run, and start attracting what's meant for you, simply by being in alignment. The people meant to walk with you, will appear without forcing. The opportunities designed for you, will feel natural, not like a battle. You won't have to bend or break yourself to fit anymore. You will simply stand as you are, and what belongs to you will recognize you. This is the shift you've been waiting for, not a sudden escape from all problems, but a deep unshakable knowing, that no matter what comes, you are anchored. You are surrounded. You are loved beyond measure. And from this point forward, every step you take will carry the imprint of heaven's hand, guiding you toward the life you were always meant to live. Your journey is blessed, even the detours, even the delays, even the disasters, because every single step, whether forward, backward, or sideways, has been part of a greater choreography you couldn't see before. And now that choreography is revealing itself. You'll notice how moments you once thought were random start to connect like constellations, forming a map only heaven could design. That painful ending, it was actually an opening. That no you received, it was a sacred yes, just in disguise. The people who left were never meant to walk the full road with you, they were there for a chapter, not the whole book. And now those pages have turned, and you're standing at the start of a new one, pen in hand, light pouring over the words you're about to write. Understand this, the version of you standing here right now, is not the same person who once questioned if they could survive. You've been remade in quiet ways, strength grown in shadows, wisdom built in storms, faith stitched together piece by piece, when you thought it had torn beyond repair. This is why heaven trusts you with more now, because you're ready to hold it, without losing yourself, to carry it, without collapsing under its weight. In the days ahead, don't be surprised if clarity comes suddenly, like a rush of fresh air in a stale room. Ideas you've been waiting on will arrive fully formed. Conversations will flow more easily. Even conflicts will feel lighter, because you'll no longer feel the need to fight for what is already yours. That is divine maturity, knowing that what God has placed in your hands cannot be stolen, only multiplied. And yes, there will still be moments that test you. There will still be whispers of doubt, old fears that try to creep back in, moments when the road ahead feels unclear. But remember what's been promised, divine covering. You are not walking unguarded. You are not moving alone. Heaven's army is already ahead of you, clearing paths, removing obstacles, softening hearts in rooms you haven't yet stepped into. Archangel Michael remains near, his presence not just a shield, but a reminder that your spirit is worth protecting, your purpose worth fighting for. When the nights feel long again, when the weight feels heavy, place your hand over your heart, and remember the warmth you feel now. That's your proof, that's the seed of the miracle, still alive and growing. You won't always feel it blazing, but it will never go out. Some days it will be a quiet ember, other days a roaring flame, but it will always be there, guiding you. And here's something heaven wants you to know, you're going to see a shift in how people respond to you. The same intensity they once misunderstood, will draw the right souls to your side. The same depth that made others uncomfortable, will now be the very thing that heals, inspires, and connects you to those who are meant for this chapter. You'll notice conversations that leave you lighter, not drained. Opportunities that align without force. Doors that swing open without you having to pound on them. This is the flow of divine alignment, you no longer chase, you attract. You no longer beg for proof, you walk in quiet certainty. You no longer fear losing what you've been given, because you know that anything heaven places in your life, comes with its own protection plan. So take the next 7 days seriously. Listen for the subtle guidance, the little nudges that tell you to go left instead of right, to speak up when you'd normally stay silent, to rest when you feel the urge to rush. These are not random, they are instructions, designed to position you exactly where you need to be. Archangel Michael's assignment is not just to guard you, but to guide you, to help you make decisions from a place of peace, instead of panic. And remember, the signs will keep coming. Maybe it's the song that plays at just the right moment, the stranger's kind words, the opportunity that shows up out of nowhere. All of these are confirmations that you're on the right path. Keep your eyes open, your heart soft, and your spirit willing. If old wounds rise to the surface, don't fear them. They are coming up to be healed, not to haunt you. Let the tears come, let the release happen. Each moment of letting go creates more room for the life you've been praying for. Think of it as spiritual pruning. Anything that can't grow with you is being gently removed, even if it feels painful in the moment. And while this transformation unfolds, speak to yourself the way heaven speaks to you, with love, with patience, with belief. Call yourself chosen, not by accident, but by divine design. See yourself not as someone trying to become worthy, but as someone who already is. The rest of the world may take time to catch up to who you've become, but that's okay, you're not living for their approval. One day not long from now, you'll look back on this exact moment, and realize it was the turning point. The place where the old cycle truly ended, and the new one began. You'll remember how it felt to breathe deeper, to see clearer, to finally understand that God never left you, not for a second. And when you stand in that future, smiling at how far you've come, you'll know with every fiber of your being, that it all began here, with this choice to stay, to listen, to believe. Because the truth is, you didn't just receive a message tonight, you answered it. And that answer has already begun rewriting the rest of your story. All of it has been woven into a living testimony, one that will one day be the lifeline for someone else. You will not only survive this season, you will lead others through theirs. Every step of your past was training, not disqualification. The pain that tried to crush you, instead awakened you. The loneliness you felt wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You were never meant to blend in, you were destined to guide others out of their darkness. Soon people will begin to notice something different about you. They won't be able to put it into words, but they will feel it deep in their spirit. That's because heaven has marked you, and wrapped you in light. You won't need to shout or explain, your energy will do the speaking. Your peace will be its own sermon. Your stillness will shift the entire atmosphere of a room. That is the anointing, it's not loud, yet it cannot be denied. And one day not far from now, someone broken will stand exactly where you once stood, desperate, tired, afraid. In that moment you will remember this night. You will remember the feeling of being seen, of being told, don't skip this. You will speak into their life, you will write words they needed to hear, you will share your light without hesitation. And heaven will whisper, see, that's why I sent Michael, that's why I sent this message, that's why I never gave up on you. So breathe now. This is your confirmation, this is your covering, this is your call. Your home tonight is wrapped in divine light. Your body is embraced in healing. Your heart is held in comfort. Your future is sealed in favor. And your spirit, O beloved, your spirit is glowing, because heaven is here, and heaven is not leaving. Rest in peace tonight, rise in joy tomorrow, because the old you is gone, and the true you, the chosen, anointed, unstoppable you, has finally stepped forward. Amen.